This week in Washington, I met in my office with the division commander for the Army Corps of Engineers. That person is in charge of the Corps' operation on the Missouri River in Iowa. And also in a separate meeting, but the same day, I met with the administrator of the Federal Emergency Management Agency. We call that FEMA for short. These meetings followed my visit a week ago to Council Bluffs, Glenwood, Hamburg, and Sidney to talk with community leaders and local residents about the Missouri River flooding. And I also had an opportunity to view that terrible disaster that's going on from the Missouri River. In the months again ahead of us here, there's going to have to be a very thorough review of the Corps' actions, especially its communication in anticipation of the floods with the people who live along the river. I'm also very interested in a review of how the flood control is prioritized in the Corps' management of the levees. There's been a debate for decades now about the role of recreation and other interests in the way that the Corps manages the dams and the levees as dictated by its master manual. This year's devastation needs a prompt, meaningful reassessment of those priorities. And I would say with very enhanced emphasis upon the operation of the dams as it relates to flood control. Looking ahead, I wrote to the President to support Governor Branstad's request for a presidential declaration to tap disaster recovery funds from the Federal Emergency Management Agency. I talked about this request with the director of FEMA, as well as was the ongoing FEMA assessment in Iowa. We discussed that latter one to a great extent because that's what it takes for the governor to make a declaration and ask the president for help. At that time, I told the administrator the concerns I'm hearing from constituents about the National Flood Insurance Program. This flood is very different in how long it's going to last. I will be keeping in close contact with the communities and the people impacted and ask them to contact my office if there's anything I can do for immediate help.